What's up, guys? Brent and Daniel here, the 31st episode, C Money Weekly Motivation. Once again, grateful for all your comments, suggestions, likes, shares, and subscriptions to the channel. Just some questions that were coming in, from guys that have been listening into the conversations, and how to deal. Number one question that came up with me and really stuck with me, because it's something that we've all got to deal with when dealing with having human relations in our businesses. And that is, how do you deal with the complainers? Guys, this is a huge one. I think I did a video very first, when I first launched the channel, on complaining and how, it can be a disease of attitude, and how it can really wreck your chances of doing well. And, complainers, they're going to be everywhere, guys, in every single industry. In our industry, we're obviously, looking for people that want to earn an additional income, and we're getting new people coming into the business every day, and we see a lot of complainers as well. And how do you identify these guys? They obviously do the least amount of work, have the hugest amount of complaints or, issues with everybody or with every single situation. And it's something that you have to learn to avoid. I've listened to a lot of personal development audios in the years. And until recently, I listened to a guy by the name of Patrick David, PBD. We've just met him personally in Dallas, Texas this year. And, he says complaining is something that stems from childhood. It was something that children used to get attention from their parents. And it's something that carries over into adulthood and obviously, getting into business as well. So you're not going to actually be able to cure anybody of complaining. It's going to be part of their life forever, because it's been instilled in them ever since they were kids. And I think it's a very important, something very important to identify early, especially if you're in an industry where you're getting people coming into your business and they're interacting with other people, other producers, other high earners in your business, and you don't want them to actually taint your people, if that's the right word, or cause commotion or cause conflict, or, be constantly complaining or, bitching and moaning constantly about every single thing, and not doing anything to solve the problem. So there's different ways of looking at it. What I actually do is, you'd find me pulling away from people like that, stopping actually working with them. We're not here to babysit anybody. In fact, if you're getting into business and if you're opening up anything other than a babysitting company, don't babysit people. Don't, listen to complaints. At first, when you get started, and I did this personally as well, you listen to people's complaints and their problems, and you think that you're doing the human thing and actually helping them. But in actual fact, you're actually supporting their habit or their addiction of complaining and making their situation worse. So, guys, complaining, I'll say it again, it is a disease. Complaining is a disease of attitude. If you want to make something happen, you got to take action. You got to find the cause of the problem. Be somebody that steps up to the plate, especially if you're getting into business, guys. If you were around me all the time, you'd know that if you complain constantly, if you don't have a solution to a problem, if you're looking for a problem out of every situation, eventually you're going to find that I stop messaging you, or I stop communicating with you, or I stop calling you, stop even helping you out in business, because we're not here in the business of handling complainers, guys. We want to have problem solvers, and entrepreneurs are problem solvers. They find a problem and they find a solution and they create an opportunity and they build a business on that opportunity. So if you're finding people coming into your organization who are constantly complaining, there's only one way to work that out. You got to get rid of them, sadly. Get them out of your system, get them slowly. You can work these people out out of your organization. You don't want to build a business based on people complaining all the time. And how would you know? How do you identify these guys? Well, it's simple. They're going to call you and complain about the silliest things. Fax machine's not working, the printer's not working. These are things that you can sort out on your own in the office. I'm talking about the smallest things, guys. Obviously, if somebody's got a big problem and they're not complaining to you, they're probably explaining to you. There's a difference between complaining and explaining, So find ways of eliminating people who constantly complain from your business, guys. I promise you, it's a huge thing. I'll say it again. Complaining is a disease of attitude. And Jim Rohn put it best. If you keep complaining and you do nothing about your situation, sure enough, he says you will choke on the dust of your own financial ruin and die alone in the desert. It's a disease. Dis-ease. It is a disease of the mind and the attitude. Don't be around complainers. So just a short message today, guys. It was inspired by one of my good buddies asking me how to deal with someone that's constantly complaining in his organization. And I hope this helps him out. I hope this helps you out as well on how to identify. And look forward to speaking to you guys again in the next 7 days. Keep the questions coming in, keep the content coming in. Feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Feel free to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the link there, hit the little bell for notifications. Keep it real, guys. Let's keep building massive businesses here in Durban, South Africa. Entrepreneur playground, guys. If you want to get in touch with me, feel free to do so. Keep well. Cheers.